My name is Jeff McManus, and I'm here with my friend Deshaun Thompson. Deshaun, I hope you're doing well today. We're going through a four-part series. Our first one was great attitudes. Today we're going to talk about the R in grit, which is reinvent ourselves continuously. Reinvent ourselves continuously. What in the world, Deshaun? I mean, that is just not a term that we use very much. So what comes to mind when you think about reinvent continuously?
Well, being open and accepting about having and needing to grow. Sometimes we may be in a position or be in a time in our life where we've become complacent or we are just comfortable. And in order for us to go any further, we're going to have to reinvent. We're going to have to recreate who we are. Now, for some people, that might be working out or losing weight or what have you. But when it comes to growth, we have to be willing to rethink or recreate or reinvent ourselves. So to me, when I hear that word reinvent continuously, is I should always be ready to make a change and be willing to make a change to get and to do and be whatever it is I desire to be.
I saw a tweet recently. It says, if you don't like change, you're going to like being irrelevant even less. Right. So much, technology is changing today. Everything's changing. We're seeing a lot of change, and it's hard. It's you get comfortable, and then there's an update, and they move everything. There's a new app for that, and we just got accustomed to this. We get set in a routine, but I guess when I think through this is why. Why do I need to do this? And so it's got to mean something to me. Why, as an employee, do I want to reinvent myself continuously? And I think through is it feels purpose, right? I there are people who need that smile. They need that pleasant interaction. But part of the reason God's put me here is to glorify Him. And so I can do that with the way I interact with people. If I'm all mad and sully all the time and I've just got, I'm not happy, then I affect the people around me. So when I reinvent myself, I'm like, you know what? When I walk in today, I'm going to have a different plan in my head. I'm going to have a different mindset. I'm going to I'm going to see how I can help the front, or I'm going to see how I can help those in the back. I'm going to see how I can be a servant, just as Jesus was a servant. Jesus stopped and washed the feet of others. And there he was, the Lord. He was the Son of God, yet he served. What a great example for us. And so as when I'm in the workplace and I'm thinking about those who are working with me, only thing I have to do is just say, go do this. Now that's such a wrong attitude. And so I need to make sure they're successful. So I want to help them. I want to train them. I want to make sure they're understanding, ask if they have any questions, and coach them just like a coach would in the Olympics. You're wanting them to get that gold medal. So Deshaun, when you think about reinventing you've gone through some times where you've reinvented from different careers. You've gone from the military into the private sector. You've gone into the nonprofit world. You've got two kids. You're reinventing yourself. What life lessons has God shown you in this reinventing continuously for you?
Well, I'm reminded of that quote: if you don't like change, you will like being what was it, irrelevant even less.
Yeah.
So I know times are changing, times are constantly changing and evolving, and if I don't change, I'll get left behind. I remember when I first started with the power company. I was a lineman, I was working underground, and then the new meter reading system came out, and so nobody was going after that job. And then I thought about it and prayed about it. And I was like, you know what? That is something I think I would like to do. So I told my wife about it, went and talked to the boss man about it. And so I ended up getting that job. And so I had to learn a new skill. I had to learn how to install that system, and I had to learn how to repair that system. And I remember this one particular incident. I went to this house to change out a meter, and there was some contractors there. And this guy asked me, he was like, "So you guys are changing these meters so you can read them from the office?" That's just taking people. That's that's you're taking somebody's job. And my comment to him was, well, times are changing. Technology is getting better. And then he asked me, he's like, so what would you do if they developed a machine or a computer system to come and change these meters? I said, well, I'll learn how to run that machine. And so we always got to be ready to reinvent and to change with the times. Time, as you mentioned about technology, it is it's growing and growing, and we're seeing it develop and evolve continuously. So, and we got to be willing to do the same thing.
Deshaun, when you said that, it reminded me of an Abraham Lincoln quote that says, "The best way to predict your future is to create it," right? And so a lot of people don't necessarily know where they're going in the future, but you can start creating it by the way you learn right now. Deshaun, I didn't know a whole lot about plants. I didn't know anything about plants in the tropics. And I ended up working in Miami for 11 years. And if I'd have gone down there and says, "Well, I don't even know what a palm tree is. I don't know what a coconut tree is," I would have been totally a failure as a leader. I had to reinvent. I had to go and learn. You learn how to learn as a leader. That's one of the best experiences I think that college gave me. Not that it gave me all the knowledge, but it taught me how to learn and learn on my own. And now I find that college was just the beginning. I'm listening to audiobooks. I'm reading books. Deshaun, now I'm out speaking. It's crazy. I'm a landscaper. I pull weeds. I pick up trash. I'm speaking all across the country now. I'm so honored. But a lot of that that's helped me is that I'm reading. And Deshaun, hate, I used to hate reading as a kid. And ugh. But I found audiobooks, right? And so I listen in my truck. And now when I'm just amazed at when I run into an issue or problem. Oh yeah, I remember I read about that, or I saw that, or now I can help change our culture because of something that has helped me, or go to a seminar, go to something even like this video and listen that inspired me to change my own habits or to change my ways to get better. When you're better, opportunities are going to open. How many times, Deshaun, have you heard somebody working, a waitress working, and serve someone that just absolutely loves her service, and then they offer that waitress a job, doubling, tripling her salary? You know, it's how we interact, and that may not always happen, but then that's okay. That's not the end goal. But what a difference to go in knowing I want to grow, I want to develop. What are your thoughts?
I mean, you have to be willing to grow. Personally, Jeff, I've been on uh, my growth journey for a little bit now, and it all started with me losing a job and having to make a decision and having to provide for my family. And so I know there's a place I want to get to. There's something I want to do, and in order for me to get there, I knew growth has to take place. And so the first thing I had to do was, and I tell people this, I stood in front of my bathroom mirror and I asked a simple question: Who am I? And if all of us ask that question, most of us will think immediately about the good things. But then I said, okay, what are the things about me I don't like and need to improve? And Jeff, when I saw that list, I I kind of, felt bad a little bit, but I was excited because I knew then what I needed to do to grow and reinvent myself and become what it is I want to become. And now I'm on that journey to growth. So having the willingness and the a desire to grow and get better it is so important when you want to reach your goals.
When you want to step up and earn more money, the highway, the second lane, that second mile service, there's hardly anybody on it.
Right.
Everybody's on the first lane just doing what they have to do. And so I remember I had a huge mistake as I hired too many employees at a place that I worked. And we had to raise our prices. And when we raised our prices, a lot of our customers quit using us, which forced me to have to come back and let a lot of our employees go. And I felt like such a failure because there I was. I thought I was doing it right. I was hiring people. We were providing great service, but I didn't check with our customers, right? And so I ended up having to let a lot of people go, and that was gut wrenching. We learn in those mistakes, and I have ever since then have become extremely try to manage efficiently to be productive. That's why I don't hire five people to do a job when I really only need one, right? Or maybe two. And so it's because we can be more efficient. And I don't want to ever have to fire somebody again or let people go. Deshaun, this has been a good talk. Reinventing yourself is not something really popular that people talk about, but I love this because it's something you control, just like attitude, isn't it?
It is. It is definitely something you can control. And Jeff, the possibilities are limitless when you talk about reinventing and growing. I never in a million years thought that I would have my own coffee brand, but me being willing to grow and step out there and learn the things that I needed to know. And now I have my own coffee brand. I never thought that that would happen, but it all started with my desire and my willingness to reinvent and to grow and to learn new skills. I've committed, every weekend to learn a different skill, learn something new. Last week it was learning how my son and I was learning how to take tires off of a rim and put tires on a rim. And I pray to God I never have to do that again, but that's a new skill. And so if we are willing to just be have the desire to grow, we gotta be willing to change and do things differently and think differently.
That's right. That's good. Well, thank you all for joining us for reinventing yourself continuously. I look forward to joining with you on our next one.